Hey YouTube, Home Server Show. We are at episode number 266. It's been a while since we've seen you. Thanks for coming out with us. I'm watching the chat room. As always, live on Wednesday nights. You got to watch Twitter, though, because I'll pull a fast one on you and skip a month.
Or two.
Yeah. I didn't say show. I said skip a month.
So it's been a tough month, that's for sure.
It has been tough. Let me get this big record button going, and let's do one of those podcasts. All right, it's really bright in here. I feel really shiny. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my blue shirt. Let me actually turn this thing down so you can see what's going on back here. Yeah, see, all of this stuff is way too shiny. Maybe I should move this back. Oh, well. I'll do like a photo shoot or something for a piece of gear, and I'll use my lights and move them around.
No, I know.
I need a photo booth. I can take pictures of gear.
You know, I've been thinking a lot about a teleprompter that is a monitor set with, set like this at an angle you can't. It's hard to see on the monitor, right? With a mirror like this, and the camera right in the middle of it, so that whenever you're looking at notes or whatever, it is dead center on the camera.
Yeah.
So I've been monkeying around with that idea. I may do that because I've got a monitor, I have a mic, or I have a camera mount that I do it on, and so I could turn the mount around, flip that monitor down, put the the mirror like this so you can see it perfectly, and then just make that a monitor.
I would like it up here. I would like it like behind my camera, right?
Yeah.
My camera's here.
Right.
Say,
right.
Okay, so I'm reading.
Yeah.
So it looks like I'm looking at you.
Yeah, no, right on. That's the whole idea. I mean, I've got mine up here, but I find myself looking down too much, I
do too.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you
right
now.
Right.
You're okay, see, I could move.
Yeah.
Move you.
Well, and I can move you up, but I still can't
now
get you right on the camera. Yeah.
Yeah. But now you're blocking all my web pages. So if I move them over to here, then I'm like reading my notes.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm putting you back in the corner.
Sounds good.
Back to the corner, Jim. You bad boy. All right, sorry, YouTubers. We're getting started here. We're going to welcome everybody. Did you see that light flash? Did you see a flicker?
No, you weren't looking. No. I was looking at chat. Sorry.
Wedge keyboard. What are you talking about, wedge?
I love that wedge keyboard. Man, I just used the heck out of that thing.
Yeah, I've got two.
It's just a freaking champ. That thing is dynamite.
Nice. All right, let's go.
A friend of mine gave it to me.
Yeah? Must be an amazing guy.
Pretty good friend.
Heard he also gave you Synology, right? And that's the same guy?
Same guy.
Okay. Sweet. We got it. Oh yeah, I got a note for you at top about Summit, so we're gonna have to figure that out.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. No, I just saw that
in the notes, so I have not booked. All right, here we go. Hopefully these levels are good. Let me check these levels here. Test, 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 test. These things are not moving whatsoever.
You sound okay to me. But I guess the chat room would be the ones to tell us. Are we in sync? Do we sound? Or is our sound audio the same? Take them 30 seconds to get it. Yeah, my wedge keyboard's Bluetooth.
Test, 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 test. Holy crap! It's not moving whatsoever. Why?
Yeah, we got a couple first timers tonight out there, Dave.
I see Point Dooley.
Yeah.
Seen him in the forums.
Now he's gone.
Oh, there he went.
There you go. Here we go.
Why? Holy crap. I haven't changed anything. Why is this not working? Okay, let me do default. Jeez.
Yoda says we sound good.
Okay. Well, if I could record it on my side, it would help.
Oh, you're not moving at all on the Audacity? You don't want to strip it right out of the video? I can record it here if you want me to.
I mean, I can do that. I have to do it twice.
Do you want me to record it?
If you want to grab it.
Here, I mean,
it must be a Google thing.
Give me 10 seconds here.
Jim joined.
And let's minimize this.
Okay, let me, I'm just going to.
Okay. 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Let's give it a little bit of volume here. All right, I got a recording going. This is a backup if you need it. Just the audio, right?
Yeah. Test. See, something changed with the Google Talk plugin in Audio Hijack Pro. It's not working. I can strip it out. I can strip it off of YouTube. That's a pain in the ass. So.
Yeah, I can do both. But I've got it recording now. Oh, I should change over to Studio is what I should do before I get too far along here. My Studio sound has been a lot better when I... Oops. Okay, let's go that. Let's go that route. A little hotter, but a little better sound.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready on this side.
Test. Wow, it's... Test. It looks like it's recording in... The VU is coming through Chrome and not a plugin. All right, here we go. Test. There it is. Wow. Okay, Google, you've changed something on me. So let's go to the bin.
You know, the plugin in Chrome is gone. They're not using it anymore.
Okay, well that's why.
Probably it. Yeah, it's native now in the browser.
It's native in the browser. So stop hijacking that, and we'll start hijacking
the browser.
Okay. Well, you can save your cycles then. I've got it.
Okay. I'll shut it down.
Yeah. Save your CPUs. Okay, chat room. Sorry. Hey, you go without a month, things change, huh? All right, here we go. Sorry, YouTubers. This is the Home Server Show podcast, episode number 266, recorded on August the 13th, 2014. Welcome back to the Home Server Show. Once again, it's Dave and Jim. How you doing tonight, Jim?
Good, Dave. How are you? I know you were struggling last week with your voice. It sounds like it's getting better.
Yeah, I'm not completely better. Last night, I went and watched my 7-year-old play football. It was cold. Believe this. It was cold, windy, and rainy. And I came home literally just shivering. And it's like, yeah, you know, your throat starts hurting. It's like I'm not even over my cold, and so I feel better. I'm getting better.
Good.
But last week I was done. I was ready to podcast, but I was out. I was in some bad shape. So sorry guys, it's been such a long time. So I skipped a week for something, and then went on vacation, and I came back, and I'm sick. So it's been crazy. All right, we got a lot of things to do in a short time to do it, so let's get moving. Hey, follow us, Home Server Show. You'll know when we put out a show because you can follow it on Twitter, twitter.com/HomeServerShow. Please jump into the forums. The forums are like the best place in the world to be, and I would hope to see you there. Jim and I are there, and whole lots of other guys ready to talk shop, talk servers, talk whatever it is you want to do. And, of course, tons of deals out there. Whoa, I'm getting tweeted all over the place on the Twitter wall. I was like, why am I looking at myself behind me? That's the Twitter wall. So if you want to get yourself on the Twitter wall, you just mention @home server show. But at least, get your buddies to join in the live chat. So bit.ly, bit.ly/go live now. All right. Hey, if you want to help out the Home Server Show, you would go to iTunes and rate the podcast. Just give it some stars, or go to homeservershow.com/Amazon and try the Amazon Prime free trial. Get 30 days free. And I noticed today, if you go out there right now, they've got that Amazon Fire TV. It's their little TV box. It's normally $99, but it was $84 right now. So you can sign up for Prime, and you get the Fire TV, and you can get it shipped like 2 days, or for like $4 overnight. Or if you're in a distribution center area, you can test that out, by the way. If you're in a distribution center area like myself, I can order in the morning and get it, in the evening. So it's pretty cool.
I've been thinking of trying that out. I just at $85, not a bad deal. We do a lot of Netflix. We do a lot of Prime TV and movies.
Yeah.
And Sarah, today that all comes off a Media Center PC, and Sarah flips over to a browser and opens up Prime and watches it that way. But I've been finding more and more ways to kind of wean her off of that computer, that Media Center.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be another thing I could kind of put in there that would take, it would be great if that had a DVD player in it too. You could just throw a DVD in and watch movies that way. That'd be awesome.
That would be very cool. I find that we use Roku a lot. It's hard to beat that Roku.
Yeah.
Although I do want to try this Prime. I think the experience would be better. Sometimes it drives me crazy because the kids will flip through and watch, cartoon after cartoon after cartoon. It's like, hey, you recently watched SpongeBob. Would you like to watch this?
You need a kids account. They need to break them out. They need to break it out so they can log in with their own.
And Netflix does.
Yeah.
And I always yell at them, say, you've been watching on my account, because all I see is SpongeBob and Disney Channel and Mighty Mouse, whatever they watch. I don't even know what they watch.
Yeah.
So check that out, Home Server Show /Amazon. I'll try to get that in the show notes. Now, I monitor, if you're talking about something, I monitor Twitter, but you got to @ me. So mention me, and if I see it, I will. I'll give you a mention. Now, I got this, Jim. This next link, it was from Tony Rayner. It's a 270 terabyte storage pod, and then they were talking about 6 terabyte drives. So tonight we got some 6 terabyte drive goodness for you, and I thought this story was pretty cool about that. Now, it's talking about this huge box, and it's a storage pod. So, they're talking about Backblaze. So it's a pretty good read. It's on extremetech.com. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can check that out. But the other one is to jump down to the 6 terabyte thing. Thecus. I've got a little Thecus around here somewhere that I think we're gonna give this away at the meetup. They've added support for 6 terabyte Reds, and I was like, 6 terabyte what? 6 terabyte Reds. So, Jim, have you heard anything about the red drives and anything moving up to 6 terabyte? I know I just missed a month, but
yeah, we talked a little bit about them on the last Home Gadget Geeks, and kind of threw the question out there. 6 gigs. I mean, I think the question is with 6 terabytes. With 6 terabyte drives, the failure rate, I mean, if you have that much data on one drive and it fails, right, the rebuild time, let's just talk about it in a RAID configuration. The rebuild time is so enormous with that much storage. It's got to do its thing. You really, I mean, it's just, I think the question is, we're like, would you go 6? Would you mirror them? Would you put them in a RAID? Would you do those kinds of things? And I think today, I mean, the consensus is the sweet spot price-wise. And we had Schoonover on, so of course he's the price guy. He knows all the prices on everything. And I think really for most enthusiasts, the sweet spot's still the 2s and the 3s. Those are like under $100 right now, and so I think most people who are building larger arrays are probably going to want to stay in that category. I did see a red for $2.99 at one point. Now I don't know if it was the 7 platter or the 5 platter. I saw that on Amazon for $2.99. I'd have to look it back up again, but that's kind of what spurred the conversation was, hey, are we moving? Are we moving to 6 terabytes at this point?
Oh.
So
okay, Western Digital Red 6 terabyte NAS drive, $296.
Yeah.
99.
Yeah, last week. Welcome back. Welcome back, Dave. The hard drives have exploded while you were gone, so it's
6 terabytes.
Yeah, pretty crazy to think what that would do. Of course, you could build out, in a Synology QNAP or a Drobo.
Just a set of RAID 5 array. 24. If you want 4 drives, you're dropping $1,200.
$1,200. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get that much space, you're thinking about that, then you're probably okay with money at that point. But I think there's some more things to consider, especially when we talk in the RAID configurations with the rebuild times. There's some things to consider if you're going to go about this. I mean, the rebuild on a 3 or 4 terabyte drive is long enough as it is. I mean, it can take a full day to rebuild that RAID. Adding 2 more terabytes to it, it's going to add time. So I think you need to be aware of what you're getting yourself into when you're doing that. And then in this article, it was talking about Backblaze using these drives. Mm-hmm. They're using the conventional 5 platters as opposed to the 7 platter helium-filled drives that are out there. But that being said, it's hard. You look at these, and I'm like, I think maybe if next time I need a drive, I'm just going to buy, that's the entry point maybe, 4 to 6 at this point, and that's a lot of space.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I still recommend the 3s. I'm still buying 2s, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah. Well, they're in the sweet spot price-wise. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you're down to $79, $75 on a deal for a 2 terabyte.
Yeah.
You just can't beat that.
Well, and I think I'm going to go to the point where as I'm replacing drives for the server for the Drobo, I'm going all red, and I'm going to go 2 or 3 terabytes. That's just where I'm going to go as I'm replacing drives at this point. So yeah, it just makes sense with red being there used to be a premium on red. Now just a little bit. Right? The premium's pretty small.
That's crazy. 6 terabyte drives, $300.
Yeah.
But hey, Amazon said if I order it in the next 15 hours, I can have it tomorrow. So there you go.
And why wouldn't you want them tomorrow?
Why wouldn't I want my 6 terabytes now? So that is a little crazy. We were talking cloud services. So we've got a lot of cloud services for you. We've got a lot of news for you. And that's pretty much it today. So I don't have a feature for you, but we're talking a lot of this. One cloud service I didn't mention was something called Jolie Cloud. Now let me get my link up here. I mentioned to you Otixo, and I don't even know if I'm saying that right. It's Otixo. And Jolie Cloud is kind of like that, and I hate to lump them in together, but I have not done my perfect research on Jolie Cloud. But obviously, I have a subscription because they keep sending me emails about, please come back, please come back. So they've got this little cloud service where they've got a basic edition and they've got a pro edition, and you can put all kinds of services out there. And you can drag and drop, files in between cloud services, much like Otixo, and those files stay in the cloud. They don't come down to your PC. You're not copying back and forth on your PC. So
not bad. The Pro is just $5 a month, sort of. It's not really $5, but
yeah, I don't know about that.
I think it's
£5 or 5 Libres or
no. I think it's the euro. So I think it's 5 euros.
Is that a euro? Okay, I navigated off that page.
Yeah, but which is roughly about $5 a month or $50 a year if you want to do it that way. There's kind of been a rash of this. We started talking about these a couple years ago. The guy saying, "Man, I'd really like one service to rule them all," so to speak. And we looked at Mover. Mover.io. They're a company that connects these cloud providers together and helps you move that data between the two of them. And so we've been looking at that. I had them on the podcast a while back if you want to go back and look at that interview. But They've changed their pricing structure, and now they charge you. I think you get the first 10 gig for free, and then after that, it's kind of a paid service. Now with Julie Cloud and another one I threw in the
chat room says Jolly.
Jolly. Okay, Jolly Cloud.
I like Jolie.
Jolly
Cloud. Okay,
tomato. And then Rennie tipped us off to one a couple weeks ago called Mult Cloud, M-U-L-T Cloud. Same exact idea. In fact, the interfaces look very, very similar. And you can go in there and connect your various accounts. And I set up a free account and set up Box, Copy, Cubby, Dropbox, 3 different drives for Google Drive and 2 different OneNote drives. OneDrive that I put in there. And 2, you can one of the nice things about these, Dave, is it makes it easy to manage all that cloud storage.
Right.
You know. So I had not heard of Jolly before, if that is indeed the way you pronounce it. Before I'm going to sign up for it. This goes in that category of these aggregators, right? These cloud aggregators that I think are starting to come out and take advantage of it.
They don't like organize. They don't like move things around for you. Like you drag and drop 40 gig. It's not going to say, "Hey, I've got free space over here. Hey, I've got free space over here."
Yeah. Well, this Mult Cloud in their materials, in their marketing materials, says it will create a multi-cloud folder for you. In other words, a folder that uses multiple. I was trying to dig into that and could not figure out how to pull that off. I can see where I can move things around very easy.
Well, it says every cloud drive provides a certain amount of free storage. Mm-hmm. Mult Cloud allows you to combine the free storage of multiple cloud drives and use together.
Yeah. That's what they say. I haven't figured out how to do it. I messed around with it all last week, set up, like I said, I'm here, I'll show you we'll do a little sharing here of that so folks can see. If you're listening to this on the audio, sorry about that. Head out to the YouTube page and give that a try. But here's how I have it set up. We'll blow that up a little bit so you can see. I don't think I have anything you can't see here. So you can see Box, Copy, Cubby, Dropbox, 3 different Google Drives and 2 different OneDrives that are there. And then I can pop into any one of those, and let's see if I've actually got data in anything here. We'll go in Dropbox. So there's my Dropbox folders, and these are my, on Google Drive. It's going and actually pulling. The nice thing about this, like I said, is for me, it simplified all my cloud storage because I was able to go one place to view it all instead of having to log into my OneDrive or log into the Google Drive or go to Dropbox to get it done. I don't see in here anywhere, as I was trying to do. I mean, I guess and it's having trouble getting to my OneDrive right now. There we go. So if I create a new folder, it just creates it in the OneDrive area. I have yet to figure out how to make this thing work, where it combines the drives.
Take a look at that Otixo. I thought they had a pretty good, and same thing. I thought this thing was gonna tell me, okay, I've got a fuel gauge here. I'm full on this one. Got a little left on this one.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to move things around.
Well, that would be helpful. You're right. That would be helpful is to have a gauge. It kind of lets you know where you're at with that. And again, I think that idea, and I think it's going to be very quick. Well, this would be pretty common. That the ability to stripe that data across drives is going to come very, very quickly, and they'll be able to take advantage. Someone will figure out how to pull that off in their own cloud so that you can take advantage of the 7 you have at OneDrive and the 5 you have on the Google Drive and the 50 you have at Box, and it combines it kind of into a shared account.
Otixo has nice apps too, and they have it for Windows Phone.
Yeah. I'll have to look at that. That's another one I haven't looked at. Otixo, if you're scoring at home. Otixo.
Otixo, Mult Cloud, and Jolly Cloud. So versus.
Yeah. No, I'll have to look at these other 2. I spent some time working on Mult Cloud just for this show, knowing we were going to talk a little bit about it. So three pretty good services that if you're into that at all, something to take a peek at.
All right. So I see your Mult Cloud there.
Yeah.
So speaking of cloud, I've got a guy emailed me the other day. Maybe it could have been 2 weeks ago. I don't know. That's how crazy it's been around here. Drive Pop. So we talked a lot of Drive Pop last year when they were doing their unlimited deal, and he emailed me and says, "Dude, Drive Pop's a scam. They're asking me to pay now after a year later." I'm like, okay. So can you send me the email? Make sure I know what's going on here. I got to know all the facts so I can help you out. And so he says, well, he says they're not truly unlimited. And their explanation to him is if you go over 1 terabyte in a single 365-day period, they're going to ask you to upgrade to a new plan. So their unlimited has a ceiling, has a peak, obviously. Now we've known that with other services too. We know nothing is truly unlimited. Unlimited data, they're going to cap you some way. They're going to restrict you in some way. Even Crash Plan, if you look in their terms of services, I found it one time, and they don't really define it, but they say that there's no such thing as unlimited.
Yeah, they reserve the right in case somebody tries to just fill it up.
Correct. So yeah, you got someone trying to fill it up, and so this guy was mad, but this guy has 5.4 terabytes stored out on his Drive Pop. So now they were saying, yeah, maybe you're the edge case, you're using too much. So what do you think, Jim?
I don't know how. Well, one, I don't know how you get 5 terabytes out there. That would take even at the speed I have, that might take a month to get 5 terabytes up to the cloud. And I get that. We're not making. Certainly people have it, right? So
I know
it does happen. It's an amazing amount of data at this point. I barely am up to a terabyte anywhere in that. Yeah, no, I'm when we talked with the CEO of Mediafire a couple weeks ago, and I asked about they for $25 they're offering a terabyte, and I said, terabyte's kind of that threshold now where for 90 or 95% of the people, terabyte's unlimited for most part. Where most people are not. Right. Now, the listeners of this show, that percentage is off. That's off the books. That's not going to happen because you guys are all crazy about your storage and everybody's storing movies and all that other stuff. So he was like, hey, at what point does, you've got to set some limits. And this is to get back to what we said earlier. He was like, it just doesn't, if you offer unlimited, it means different things to different people, and it doesn't have any value, and it's just not a good idea. They've been in the cloud storage business since 2006, and he's like, it's just not a great idea. So he's a big proponent of kind of at least setting some limits on that. They set it at 1 terabyte. I think that's a realistic expectation of 1 terabyte. That's a lot of space.
A lot of space.
And to get both up and down, that takes an enormous amount of bandwidth to get that done. So I agree. In some cases, if they set unlimited, this is the screwy thing with it. If they say unlimited, it probably should be. I mean, in Crash Plan's case, they say unlimited, and they've got. I went to a demo with their engineers, and they showed me their number one guy. He has 60 terabytes of data out there. Okay, 60, 65, something like that. Crazy amounts of storage, and they're like, we're good with this, but they put that caveat on there just in case some kind of jackball, is like, hey, I'm gonna break the internet, and starts doing all that stuff. So I get why they're doing that. So I think this is the tough part. This is the weird thing it puts us in when they say unlimited, and yet in this case they come back and say, well, we didn't really mean unlimited. We were just kidding.
Yeah, it puts the company and it puts the user in an odd situation. Yeah. So I understand that the company needs to have some limits, and I'm sure it's in their terms of services that unlimited is not necessarily unlimited.
Then they should say that. Just come out. I think the chat room's saying this right now. If it's 1 terabyte, just say it's a 1 terabyte thing. I think people are okay with that.
We're okay with it, right? Yeah, we're okay with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. As I've been going through all these cloud services and updating there's a lot of them. They're getting more and more. It is hard to find a terabyte, by the way. There's not many that are doing that now. They're going to be moving to that here in the future. I think Google Drive and Microsoft and Amazon will race quickly to the 1 terabyte limit here in the next probably by the end of the year. But yeah, I think you should say it if you're gonna come back. And it doesn't sound like he's abusing. It's not like all of a sudden he probably just rammed 5 terabytes in there, and it wasn't showing signs of stopping. That's where I think their terms of service could come in nicely and say, hey, look, you're at 5.5 terabytes, and we've done some analysis, and it doesn't look like you're going to stop. Are you trying to break us?
Right.
So
I feel bad for the guy. I guess I personally, when I see unlimited, I don't really think unlimited. Maybe because I've read terms and services.
Yeah.
So read your T's and C's, guys. But sorry. If I was a small company and I'm trying to make it in the business, I mean maybe pissing off one guy with 5 terabytes is not going to kill your business, right? So
well, it depends who that one guy is. If he's got some influence and
right.
And he kind of starts saying, well, they don't really say that. It's not really true.
Maybe they should have came at him completely different tact saying, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to store, another 5 terabytes next year? Go on.
Yeah. But hey, what's your plan? You know what? We want to help you.
What's your plan? Exactly.
We want to help you. You're over, our typical user is under a terabyte. We want to help you because we know you got more data. Can you give us some idea where you're going with this thing in the future? Because what if he's done, right? He's like, no, everything's up there.
Yeah, they can. They can transfer it to Glacier.
Right on, or they can be. Oh, they're like, whew, behind the scenes.
Right.
Whew, okay, we're good. I mean, come on, 5 terabytes for a company like them, that's a sneeze, right? For probably what they have, I'm assuming for probably what they have in the background or what they have ready to go or whatever. But come at them as an edge case and say, well, hey, we want to help you a little bit, or hey, you know what? We got some cool things we could do to help you get it faster or to manage it better. It might require an upgrade. Would you like to, hear what? When I was interviewing Derek, the CEO of Mediafire, I said, hey, does 1 terabyte mean 1 terabyte, right? I mean, he's like, yeah, it's the ceiling. That's what we do. He goes, but if you have more than terabyte, just call us. We'll work something out. I mean, it's not a big deal. We just need a limit for our pricing plans.
Yeah, we need something on paper.
Yeah. We just need a limit to set it down. We'll work with you. So if you're going to, and the crazy thing he says to me then, and this is one of the things we don't think about with cloud storage when we talk about what's the bandwidth limit. So if I'm going to be active with these big files and they're going to take up a bunch of bandwidth, are they going to call me back too? And because that costs money for them. And so Mediafire set a 10 terabyte bandwidth per month limit for their customers. Again, it's just a limit that if you go over it, it's not the end of the world. But they're like, we're going to talk about it, right? What are your needs? Maybe we can serve you better than just our standard plans. And so I kind of liked that approach to just the way he was talking about it. He's like, man, we'll figure something out. Not a big deal. We'll figure it out. Yeah. But 10 terabytes, think about that. 10 terabytes a month for $25. Dave, I've moved my video RSS feeds to it to see how we do with it,
Yeah, I can't even move that much in my house, let alone out the internet.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well,
crazy. I
mean, I'm liking this Mediafire offering at $25 a month for a terabyte of data and 10 terabytes of bandwidth and direct links access to your files. So if you go to Dropbox or even OneDrive, I don't think they don't give you the file extension, so you don't get your file / whatever .mp3. It's a hidden thing, and you can share it, but they do that for various reasons. Mediafire, they give you, it's your file, blah, 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 .mp3 or MP4. So you get direct links to the files, which is for podcasters, for media folks, it's great. But they're really talking about, and this is interesting in the world of cloud storage, coming at cloud storage from a different angle. In other words, not file structures, but services. So what's the best, if you're going to have your pictures on the cloud, what's the best way for you to consume those when you want them? If you're going to have music or you're going to have videos, what's the best way? Downloading them back to your phone, if it's a big file, is probably not the best idea. So what's the optimized streaming that you get out of that, right? What are they? So they're really creating some services to help you consume it, which I find pretty cool.
That's kind of where I like Copy and this Otixo service. I mean, I really like the interface of Otixo. I think if you look at it, you'd be like, wow, this looks much better than that other one. But I don't see Mediafire on there. And for sure, I don't see CrashPlan. I don't think CrashPlan is on any of those services.
No.
I don't think it ever will be.
Nor do I think we want it to be. I mean, CrashPlan is a true backup service.
Yeah, you don't want to be monkeying in your
backups.
Right.
Yeah. No,
those are your backups, right?
Don't screw with your backups.
Copy and my Copy and my OneDrive are truly just like a secondary, additional. So good. Yeah.
No, I think it's a good discussion, because we've got the old, we go back to the old, you've got backup, you've got sync now, which is what a lot of these services are, right? That they're syncing your files. Now, some of them have versioning. Dropbox got 30 days, and read the terms in the services for whichever one that you're choosing. Many of them have some version control on them, but that's still not backup, right?
Right.
And so, I mean, it's a form of it, but so you got to know.
That's what he was doing. He's got 5 terabytes, and he was getting out of control with versions. He was truly trying to break the internet.
That's possible. Yeah, I mean, but those for most places, for the versions to change, you actually have to change the file, which and re-upload. Who knows?
I'm sure it was just video.
It gets well, and it depends what they're using as their back end too, right? I mean, if they're paying for all the transactions, if they're going to Amazon and they're just an overhead for somebody else. Right. Then they're paying for those transactions. That can get pretty expensive. As opposed to a service that owns all their own storage, well, then transactions are cheap, right? If it's going back to your data centers, then transactions are cheap. So it makes it a lot easier for you to relatively cheap,
right? Cheaper
than when you're paying Amazon for sure.
Right. You got the pipe. Maybe they just make one little server. Maybe they get a little Mac Mini and a 6 terabyte drive, and they mirror, a couple of those, and they mirror it, and they're like, all right, here's this guy. He's good.
Yeah.
He paid his $25 for lifetime, unlimited.
He's gonna have his own server. Yeah, no, you kind of make a good point there in some ways. That it's
I think it was 39 or something. I don't remember.
Route him to his own box and
try not to make light on this poor guy. I'm tearing him up.
Hopefully, yeah. I'm not right. We're not trying to make fun of it.
Yeah. Cheap jokes. Anything for a good cheap joke, right?
Well, it's one of those things that as we get away from home storage, which this community will go kicking and screaming away from home storage. The more on Home Gadget Geeks we talk about cloud, the more I hear back from our home server enthusiasts. They're like, I don't want to do cloud, or I got movies. I don't want to move them there. I'm not thinking about that. I want to, just as a short side note, my sister was changing from a Mac to a PC this week, so she was making the change. She didn't want to spend the extra money on a Mac, so she bought a cheaper PC, and so she's trying to move her files, and of course that's not going to work. You can't unplug the Mac. First of all, I said, did you back up all your music? Yeah, I put it on a backup drive. I'm like, well, what does that mean? She's like, well, I was too much for my OS, for the PC, so I bought another drive and I moved it all over into my backup drive, so it's backed up. And I was like, so it's in one place. Yeah, it's on my backup drive. It's backed up. I'm like, no, that's still just one place.
Copy.
I know. And I'm like, so did you move it to the cloud? Oh, I don't trust the cloud. And I'm like, you're my sister, right? I mean, come on. Well, you can't trust the cloud with your music. And well, I don't really. What she really was saying, and this is what I think we as tech guys for our families hear all the time. It's not that they don't trust it. It's that they don't know it, right? They're uncomfortable with it. They don't want to admit that. They're like, oh, I don't know what this new cloud stuff
I don't know enough about it to trust it.
Yeah, it just scares the hell out of them, to be honest with you. They've heard these NSA things, and I'm like, it's your music, for God's sake. So, the best way to get your music from a Mac to a PC, of course, for the average user, dump it to the cloud and then bring it back down, right? It's file, make it file system agnostic. But man, that did not go over well. And
dump it to Amazon, or even Apple,
right?
And then pull it back down in higher quality.
Exactly. Yeah. But she wanted it free. She didn't want to do anything. She didn't trust the cloud. And I just know all the guys and gals who listen to this podcast. You're your family tech guy or gal, and I know your family does this to you. And you just want to go, oh, I'm gonna, And I almost have a Crash Plan server that I've built here that I kind of built for friends and family, but she was so crazy at that point. I was like, no, I don't want to be your customer. I don't want her as my customer.
Right.
I don't want her. I'm not going to give her a Crash Plan code and start having her back up to me. That's just too much work.
Awesome. Hey, I know there's still a couple of storage space guys out there. Yeah, I know you're using storage spaces, and I don't have much for you, because I know it's either a love it or hate it kind of thing. But Microsoft, in their August 2014 update rollup, they've released performance counters for tiered storage spaces. So you get this list of cool counters that you can look in your event. I guess you can throw it up in Event Viewer and see everything that's going on. I will put that link. I have that. Put that in the app. I put that in the show notes. Quick little. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I've been using storage spaces on my 2012 box, and not any issues. Just runs. I don't crank it. I don't try and go full speed. I don't load 5.4 terabytes on it. So it works great.
Streaming from it or anything?
No, I'm not pushing it.
Okay.
I'm not pushing it.
I think that's where guys have issues.
Yeah.
And then if something goes wrong, it really goes wrong.
It does go south in a hurry, from what I've heard.
Yeah, and some of these guys that tinker with their boxes so much, it's probably not the best thing. Now, for me, I had StableBit. That's just the coolest thing in the world. I went from 2011 RAID 5, and I'm on StableBit. DrivePool, software based. It works great. It works fantastic.
Yeah, I think any of those are running real well right now at this point.
Yeah.
And I think if you're the average user and you don't want to get into the other two products, I think you can look at you just using storage spaces native to run that. That's what I'm doing in a couple different configurations and on 3 drives. Or try some of the other stable bits. The scanner is dynamite. I mean, they've got some really good mature products now. It's crazy to think, Dave. 2 years ago, we were talking about those just starting, right? And really coming on the scenes, and now they've really matured into some great products.
Yeah. I would recommend them. Here's a pain in my butt. Let me show you this phone.
Literally?
Yeah.
It wasn't heating up back there, was it?
On the bottom of these phones, USB, micro USB. How many times, Jim, have you tried to plug one of these things in the dark and thought, seriously,
boinked it.
I just broke that thing off inside there. I know I did.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent, but you got to get it. I mean, they got to be tough. It's got to be tough, because I swear I've nearly broke one 1,000 times. But the cool thing is now the the USB group has come out with Type-C, and that's going to be a reversible USB cable. So it's going to be the end that goes into your phones and your gadgets and your devices and even your laptops now. This thing's going to be able to charge some really large
devices.
They're saying up to laptop type, laptop size. So
yeah, it's nice that we're getting there, because it's been a tough road to get this far.
Yeah.
And so thank God we are to a point where, because you're right, I come in the evenings and I'm tired, and you're like, oh, I've replaced that on my Galaxy S4. I had to replace that end because I boinked it all up.
Oh, so you did break one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Nice.
$75 to get it replaced by the technician. Now I probably could have done it cheaper myself, and I've had my S4 apart a couple times now, but I could have done it myself. But still, it's easy to do. So this will be great if they can fix that, and you don't even have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, it's time. It's time for a reversible USB connector. So it's a pretty cool article. I have that link in the show notes, and it kind of shows you. One thing that I need is I need the other end. They both should be reversible. Because you're monkeying around on the back of your computer, and you're poking and poking and poking and poking, and then you finally flip it around, and then you're poking and poking, and then you realize it's in the 1394 slot that your motherboard has on it for whatever reason.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't work. Man, this printer will not come on. It went in. Or you're plugged into
exactly. I got a new laptop at work, and I was plugging in the mouse trying to do some stuff, and I was like, what is the deal? It will not recognize this thing. And then I had to take a hard look at the actual
it's not FireWire mouse.
It's not the right port. And actually, we don't Ethernet cable is the same width as USB.
It's the same width. It'll go in.
Yeah.
So if you're not really paying attention,
right.
And if it doesn't wiggle around, it'll slide right in. I think we've all done it. If you haven't done it, then you're not doing it enough.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Plex updates, trailers, playlists, lots of good stuff out there for Plex, and they just keep updating it. That link will be in the show notes. I don't think that we need to go very deep into those.
No, super impressed with Plex though. I talked about Plex for a long time before I actually started using it.
I did too.
And now I'm hooked, absolutely hooked. Yeah, yeah. If I could find a great way to record, Media Center would be gone. If I could find a slick way to record like I do on Media Center and watch them via Plex.
There's so many things that are just almost right there. So many things. In fact, I was speaking with I call him in private. I call him Firestarter, but he's out in the chat room. Dwayne Robinson. He was at the Meetup last year. So if you're at Meetup and you remember the fire trucks arriving, so you'll know Dwayne.
That was awesome.
He's Firestarter.
Yeah.
He was talking to me today about, Xbox One. I'm like, well, I don't have an Xbox One. He's like, okay, you've got to get everybody to go out to feedback.xbox.com and just search for Media Extender or Media Center or something. I'm going to throw this link in the show notes. Throw this out in the chat as well.
I'm going to vote it up right now.
It's to use Xbox One as a media extender because you used Xbox 360 as an extender. Why doesn't the Xbox One do it as well? Well, they want to get rid of Media Center. That's why. So, but out here, Microsoft is listening. So if you go out here, you can find some services that you would like to vote up, and they've frequently added some of these services out there. So. That works out there. He was also telling me, he says, the Synology box will talk to the HDHRs, the HD home runs, and the HD home run primes, which he's using. So it will go out there and tune the channel. You can actually record the channel. You just can't. There's no means in which to set up a guide.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really missing that.
Yeah, so we need something to be able to perform guide duty.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I would set up just a single Synology, and that's all it would do.
Yeah.
If, and drop those, you could just drop, literally, you could drop MP4s right into Plex.
And Plex manages them
that way.
very well. I mean, that's what I'm super impressed with is the interface on Plex. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, I know at last meetup we did some My Movie stuff, and that's got a great interface as well. And that's kind of an ecosystem you commit to, and some of those. But I'm digging Plex for sure, and just loving the simplicity of it. So ironically, I'm late to the recording game because I'm now ripping my DVDs and ripping them, ripping them bobs,
Right.
and then
You're just now getting up to ripping.
I'm just now doing it.
We'll wait on you. We did this.
Oh, I've been yeah. We've done this before.
Let me meet you, introduce you to the box. For those playing at home, I don't have my headphones.
Oh man, I'm getting exposed.
This is called V1, and this is what we were all ripping to.
Yeah, you were.
In 2008,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jim.
No, you're good.
2014.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the technology to get to the right place.
You'll be a cord cutter.
I've done this before. Now that we've done, right?
You're a cord cutter now.
We're off. We've been off for a couple years, and I was one of the first off of. I mean, I was on voice over IP a decade ago.
Yeah.
So some things I get too early. I just was so against. Well, so here's the deal. I was just so against all the time it would take to rip that. One, I got faster equipment, which helped the ripping time go so much faster now.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a big difference. But two, I was like, when am I really going to watch these things? If I want to watch them, I just throw the DVD in the player. Well, I'm trying to get rid of those players out front, right? I'm trying to get rid of the DVD players that are out front. And so you're like, well, okay, if I'm trying to get rid of those, then I need to put them somewhere else. And my kids want to watch them on their tablets. This is what changed things. Is the kids have all gotten tablets or phones or whatever that's capable of it, and they want to watch them on their devices. And so they come to me, and they're like, Dad, could you rip this thing down? I'm like, okay, it's on the Plex server, so just log in there and get it. And so now I'm thinking, okay, I need to have them there so they can watch.
So they got the Plex app.
Yeah, they got I pay for Plex. I do the monthly $3.99 for Plex, and it works great. So. For me, just coming to Plex has been one of those things out of necessity for my kids. Yeah. Tim Black's trying to get me over to to any DVD, but yeah.
Well, if you're ripping, you have to be on any DVD.
Yeah.
You have to be. But okay, so if your kids are into tablets and TV is still the king in your house. You got to try this. I mean, the little box behind me is called Tablo, Tablo TV. This, like I've said before, this thing does not even have HDMI out. There's no video output. Do not set this by your TV because it'll do nothing for you. You either need Roku or a tablet to use this thing. So it's really cool, Jim. It takes over-the-air right into the back of it, and I split my over-the-air antenna, and one goes into Tablo, and the other goes into my HD home runs by Silicon Dust HD home runs, and I can watch it right on my, I got my Android phone. I can watch it on the run. We took a trip to Louisville once, and I've said this before, but it was the weekend that Talladega was on. And I like that Talladega NASCAR race. And I just watched it right in the back of the car. All the way. Streaming. I was killing my data plan, but I was unlimited back then. So, really cool little box. So, I like it. I need to just review the thing and say yay or nay. So, I'm giving Tablo the thumbs up. It gets my approval. I've used it enough that it gets my approval. It's on. It's got a Roku app. That's the coolest thing. It's got a Roku app. So on your Roku, you've got Netflix, you've got Amazon, and you've got TV. I mean, you literally have TV. You can flip through the guide, although the guide is a little clunky on the Roku. But you can flip through the guide. You can watch live TV. You can watch news. You can watch recorded TV. And all the kids, they can sit in their beanbag chairs with their iPads and...
Recorded TV in what format?
It records. You plug in a USB drive right into it.
The Roku does the recording. Yeah.
No, the Roku does nothing. It just plays.
Oh, okay.
The box.
Yeah.
The Roku's the interface into it.
Got it.
It's actually easier to use the tablet. But there's a little hard drive in here. See that little Western Digital hard drive?
Yeah.
It's no power. It's one of those little 500 gig drives you can get for $30.
Right.
It doesn't have a power cord. It's powered by the device itself. So really great device. Okay, let's talk Meetup real quick before we go. I just looked at the count and we're up to 30. So I have 30 folks who have plunked down the $20. Actually, it's like 22 something, I think, after you pay the fees.
Yeah, there's a $2 fee.
Yeah, and so we're gonna have a great meetup. So I'm back from vacation. Kids are in school as of today. Today, as we record, the school started. So I'm able to work on Meetup, and I'm going to be working on Meetup for the next month. So there's still spots for 25 people. Now I'd like you to come. You don't have to come. We're not going to broadcast Meetup outside. We're not going to live stream. So if you're not there, you kind of don't get to see it. Now, we might make a hangout for one or two people for a little bit. But the goal is for those folks that have plunked down the money, not the $20, but the airfare and the hotels. The event was for those guys. So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time doing podcasting and doing live video and stuff. We'll take lots of pictures, and you can see it after the fact. The other cool thing is we make a trip as a group to Fry's, and we make a trip as a group to the Microsoft Store. And they really can't wait to have us out there at the Microsoft Store. They've been asking me when we're gonna come back. And I see a lot of cool names. A lot of guys who have gone before, and there's a couple of new guys. And I see Yoda from Texas, right? Isn't Yoda?
Yep, Brian.
Texas? Yeah. He came to the first one. Now he's coming to this one. So he's going to have a fresh surprise in our new digs. So that's going to be really cool.
Dave, do you need me to bring? I was going to bring my sound system with me. Do you need me to bring that?
Yeah, I was just talking to a fella today, Mr. Firestarter. He was going to bring some of his stuff, and I was like, nope, Jim's got it.
No, I got it. I'll bring it
Jim's
this time.
got it. He's got his stuff.
Bring other cool stuff. Take the room that you were going to put the sound system and bring other cool stuff. Let's just say that. Yeah.
I have allotted him one laser. One laser.
No smoke.
I said, and it cannot burn holes in the wall. I didn't mean bring one, that.
Hey, that could have gone a lot worse. Let's just say that we really got. I mean, it really that worked out. Fortunately, the fire department come, but it could have been a lot worse. So it was, in the end, we were able to laugh about it, and it's all good.
Nobody got hurt.
No, nobody
got hurt.
A lot of things got unplugged.
Yeah, my kids thought it was cool that the fire department showed up at Daddy's meeting.
They thought that was pretty cool, for sure.
Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll be bringing gear. I'll have PA gear coming with me.
Okay, even you, Jim, this is for you. If anybody wants to present or you need table space, now is the time. Presentations and table space reservations are open. You just need to email me, podcast@homeservershow.com. I have not heard from anyone that said they would like to bring significant others for the lunch. So, if you have a geeky wife, that'd be fine. If she wants to sit with a bunch of geeks all day, that's fine. If not, if you want to possibly pay for a lunch, I would be okay with that. I just don't want to. I don't want to take away space from the 55 attendees. So, I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks, Jim. I don't know if we're going to get a big run or if the run is over, because scheduling flights is the big thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Now
I'll be driving again, so I'll be coming in. I need to do some planning to get people from the airport over. So we'll be getting together on some of that stuff. We'll put the spreadsheet together and get everybody kind of from the airport back. If you're planning on coming and you haven't planned yet, stay around for Sunday morning, because we'll do a Waffle House for sure. And you'll want to be a part of that. We had a bunch of guys leaving early on Sunday last time, and so not as many people could join us. But we'll be doing Waffle House for sure. So, yeah, it'll be cranking up real quick. And, David, we never know exactly what we're doing until Saturday morning when we're there.
Exactly.
And I get up late, and we're rushing to pick up breakfast at Panera.
It's gonna be easy peasy this time, Jim. It's gonna be laid back. This time I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'm presenting. I looked, and I've done a Synology presentation at every single meetup, even the first one. So I'll probably do another one.
Well, I think we should do like we did. We didn't do enough of this last time, but people bring stuff, and we probably don't give enough time for people to show their stuff, because we did that last time. One session went really well. Everybody kind of just gathered around the stations, and people had a chance to kind of demo what they had brought. I probably won't demo either with setting up sound gear, and I learned last year kind of MCing the thing that takes up a lot of time and my attention, and it's just nice. We want you to show your stuff. So if you got something to show, bring it. Let's do it that way.
Yeah. So if you want to present, or you need table space, you need to let me know how much table space you need, because it's very limited, and it gets limited very quickly. So please, podcast@homeservershow.com. Let me know. Now, the meetup has never been just 100% about the giveaways, but I'll always have something, and we've already had a couple of donations. So if you have something you would like to donate, last year we took some gently used donations to give away, and some new stuff. So you have something new, and you're not using it, and you'd like to we'll give it away if it's tech related. I don't want to give away an old Christmas tree or something. I'm talking tech.
Or a Drobo with a drive still in it.
Yeah, there you go. So make it tech related, and we'll get that happening. So email me if you have questions. Just email me. All right. So Jim, speaking of the meetup, you're just gonna drop dead when you hear this. I got an email, and it is from the SLS Casino. SLS Las Vegas Hotel and Casino. Now I'm going to read this to you. A special offer for Sahara members. SLS Las Vegas, the site of the former Sahara Hotel and Casino. I just stop there. Jim, the Shadhara is back.
It's great.
The Shadhara is back. Sir.
The new one is back.
The new one. You, sir, need to come to Vegas. Yes. I think this is the year. This is the signal, Jim. This is the signal. Woo-hoo,
yeah.
That you need to come back.
Yeah, you might be right. Might be time to come back to Vegas and do CES. Get away from all the broadcast coverage, because that's gotten a little ridiculous, and there's a lot of folks doing it a lot better than we were. They just have a lot more equipment and a lot more money to throw at it.
Yeah,
and get back to being on the floor.
Last year I planned to do a little bit of broadcasting. I was going to test my new rig, and I never got to test it. And this year, I don't know. I think I'm just going to go for the show.
Yeah,
I'll report. I think I'll do some video. I'll take my rig. I think it would be cool to have two people and a rig.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
And just no appointments. We could just be that roving patrol. So I'm just putting that thought in everybody's head. CES. And Jim, I've got this. It says one complimentary night and a complimentary room upgrade, or 50% off of your room rate. So I'm going to call.
You open to splitting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, let's look at it. It's gonna be an interesting month because we've got Meetup in October, we've got Summit in November, we'll have CES in January. So I'll need to work some extra jobs to pull it off.
Exactly. That's a lot of airfare.
Work some extra tech jobs to get it done. But
a lot of gas money.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be good. I'd like this. Maybe this is the year. Go back.
I think it is. Since last year, I got snowed in. There was no way I was going to make it. I think
we ought to. Yeah. No, you didn't make it, right? I mean, well, you did, but no, you didn't at all, right?
No, I didn't go.
That's right. We were done. We didn't do anything around CES. What's also interesting is in April in Vegas, they've moved the podcast New Media Expo has moved to the IAB conference. So now you have all internet broadcast or all podcasters meeting up with all the radio and TV and stuff, because those worlds have really started to come together. I mean, we're not using TV.
Those guys were going 2 days before CES.
Yeah,
and it was always clashing.
It always was. It was hard to do New Media Expo, and now it's April. So that would be, for me, that'd be a great opportunity.
That'd be a great way to just maybe even drag the whole family out.
I'm not going to drag my family out. You can drag yours out. Mine will be in school. We'll leave them there. Okay. I want to go. I want to go to Vegas and swim.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff. So we got a busy. It sounds like we've got a busy fall and winter and maybe spring already.
Yeah, I'm in.
Line it up.
I always wanted the new Media Expo.
Yeah, no, that'd be fun.
Storage Expo was right before CES as well, and I always wanted to do that, but it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Hey, have you got any wind on Summit, on any more details than me as far as what that's all about coming up?
I have no clue.
Okay. Yeah, me neither.
No clue. I'm going. No matter what, I'm going.
Okay. Yeah, me too. I'll be there.
Yeah. If we have to drive there, I'm driving.
I'm not driving there.
We have to take the Amtrak.
There is a nonstop.
Through Montana.
There is a nonstop from Omaha to Seattle, which is great. Although my sister lives in Portland, wants me to fly in a day early and then take the train up to Seattle, because she says that train ride from Portland to Seattle is incredible.
Oh, that would be
so
nice.
Fly in early, stay with my sister. You'd be welcome to come if you want to do that as well. Spend a little time in Portland, take the train up. Be fun to do that with you, and then we can do Summit, and then take the train back down, jump in, or fly directly from Seattle. Whatever whatever's best.
All right. Well, yeah. Get some info together. We'll take a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we've got any listeners in Portland, love to meet up with you when we get out that way, maybe.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. Episode number 266. I apologize for everything being so delayed, but I think we had a pretty good show, and we should have some more. We're going to get Zadler back on. We'll get Schoondog back on. We'll talk some storage. We'll get these guys. We'll get Jim to talk some Azure. We'll talk some VMs. If there is something that interests you and you're doing it with your home storage in your home networking, whatever you're doing, and you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. I've got this brand new Ubiquity 3 access point box right here. I'm running some cool Wi-Fi. We can talk about that. Got all kinds of stuff to talk about. I've got the brand new DS414 Slim from Synology.
Yeah, I want to hear about this Slim, because that's something I may.
I'm bringing it to Meetup.
Okay.
Everybody's going to get to see it. We're going to bring it to Meetup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fire this thing up and see. Don't tell Synology. I think I'm gonna give this thing away.
Oh, all right. Well, I told you I got like six laptop drives just sitting here.
It's loaded with Toshiba 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte drive.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
So hey, don't forget forums. So check this out. I know you've listened to the end, so you deserve to get the first person to hear this. I have 4 forums now, Jim. I am becoming the forum guy. So this last one it's honestly a test to so I can test software. So I'm working on doing single sign-on. So when this is done, hopefully you can log in to Home Server Show. You can get into Surface Geeks, you can get into homeautomationforums.com and the new one, which is called smartwareforums.com. I don't know if you saw this, but this is kind of like smartware forums. So if you've got like a smartwatch, or you're a Fitbit guy, or you're just a mobile guy, this is where we're going to be talking mobile phones and smartware. So we've got the OnePlus that I gave out all kinds of invites to Skoondog. Skoondog has an Android phone right now. I gave one to Mr. Jose Ortiz. He's going to have his review out there, and a couple of other guys. And so if you're into smartware, smartwareforums.com, and then that's how we're going to finish up the whole single sign-on thing. Tons of forums. I actually got something done before Meetup, Jim.
Nicely done. Hey, we fixed the front page, or I fixed the front page to the Geeks Network. So if you go out to the Geeks Network,
it looks better.
Yeah,
I took off the gallery thing, and then you put your logo on there.
I did.
It looks good. TheGeeksNetwork.com.
Yeah.
Jim and I have
those links work now. We'll add Cyber Frontiers to that here eventually, but yeah, it's working. Yeah. You can click the links through and go to the shows.
Yeah, we'll get links to the forums, and Jim and I are going to work on the Geeks Network. And a year later, I know we announced it last year, but we're going to get it to work. We're going to get it rolling. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, I didn't think about the forums. I'll see if I can add the links in there at least.
Yeah, well, I don't even have logos for two of them. So
True.
All right.
True.
Hey, it's been a Home Server Show. Thanks, Jim.
You bet, Dave. Good seeing you.
See you. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out, Surface Geeks. If you tuned in for Surface Geeks, it's coming up next.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm running late.
Yeah.
But, hey, Home Server Show deserved its full run.
Yeah, so we haven't had a good talk in a while. So good to.
So I'm going solo on Surface Geeks. So you'll see me in 5 minutes, guys.
Really? You're gonna solo it?
I'm soloing it. Surface Geeks is now Surface Geek. Moi.
You should take Colin.
I'm standing on my own 2 feet.
You and Rush Limbaugh.
I'm the guy who returned the Surface Pro 3. So, what is this tweet on my square? Holy cow!
While we were talking, I had somebody direct messaging me on Twitter about the meetup.
Sweet.
Chris Bailey he doesn't live far from you. Chris Bailey, Christopher Bailey. He lives in Danville.
Okay. Well, you know what, Jim? It's a private event on Eventbrite. Last year we got a couple of Indianapolis nerds that watch Eventbrite, and they came in, and I fed them for free. So this year it's a private event.
Yeah. Well, I've been putting the private link on my site, inviting people, from our podcast. So I think
that's what it's for. I mean, it's on the forum site.
Yeah.
It's not totally private.
I think one of mine. I think it's one of my podcast listeners. So.
But if you're a member of Eventbrite, it emails you. Here's what's going on in your area this week. Right, yeah. I don't want that.
Right.
I don't want that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think the price tag would totally alleviate that. But I may email last year's attendee list from Eventbrite and say, hey.
Last chance.
Last chance.
Yeah, last chance. I think it's going to sell out.
I don't think it will.
I think we'll get close.
I think it's going to be cozy.
And that's good, I'm all for it.
Okay with cozy.
Yeah. No, I'm all for it.
If we didn't even have to use the microphone, I'd be okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring some music and we'll have some stuff playing, and we'll have a microphone, and we'll have some great guys and some great content. And DMZ guys will be there. I think that alone. I mean, there's so many great guys coming. It's
going to be Home Automation Fest, Jim. I'm already telling you.
I know.
It's going to be great.
I know. I'll just have to get ready for it. Yeah. I'll just have to get ready for it.
Yep.
All right, man. Have a good time on Surface Geeks.
Next. SurfaceGeek.net, everybody. If you're watching, go to SurfaceGeeks.net. We're going live in 5. See ya.
See you, Dave.